Well, good evening, Gopher fans, and welcome back to another episode of Sky U Pod, your college huddle Golden Gopher football podcast. We are back in the swing of things with the start of the season, kind of right ahead of us, and the fellas and I would just like to kind of give an update to training camp, what's kind of going on out there, and just to chat some college football. As always, Kurt Max joining. Fellas, how you doing tonight?
Doing
Doing
good.
good, man. I finally got the juice back. Like I've been consuming everything Go for football. I'm excited to talk about it, and yeah, season's almost here, so the vibes are high.
Yeah, it's all within reach. Week 0, week 1, it's all coming up. I think the first game is in Ireland again this year, right? The TCU North Carolina game, I believe, is the one in Ireland. It's that first game on that first Saturday. So yeah, already kind of trying to make plans around the calendar of when to I should say not plan to do things on the
Right.
weekends coming up. So exciting
I'm
time.
so thrown off because the Gophers are like don't start till September this year, and it makes me feel like
Yeah,
it's further away than it is. But here we are, and it's middle of August. So
Right. Well, yeah, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid too. I'm excited, fellas. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. First off, let's just talk about camp. Obviously, we're really in the thick of it here with game day being what? Just like a few weeks away at this point. Um, yeah, is there anything, about camp really that's kind of brought kind of your attention to anything in general or things that excite you, worry you, interest you?
y-
Curdy, let's start with you.
yeah, so I think the first one we should talk about is maybe the biggest question mark. The Big Ten media days were just here yesterday. Big Ten Network, I should say. Um, and they talked a lot about it, and that is just who's gonna win that starting right tackle job. And they made it sound like the whole right side of the offensive line was still in competition, and I'm sure to a certain extent it is. But I think most of the Gopher beat writers think that Tony Nelson's the starting right guard. So it's really coming down to that right tackle spot between. Uh, I always forget who's the Tennessee. Is it Bennett Warren or Warren Bennett? I can't remember
Bennett
which
Warren.
Bennett Warren. Thank
Yep.
you. I'll have it down by season start. Bennett Warren and then Daniel Ship, who's a redshirt freshman out of California. Not a highly touted guy, but the Gophers coaching staff was really high on him. Um, Personally, I was kind of hoping for our Tennessee guy to come in and win the job just because he's got that physical size to him. Not that Ship is small, he's not, but he's, you know, um, the Tennessee guy has more beef to him, Warren, and it sounds like Daniel Ship is in the lead right now as far as that battle goes, which surprises me. Fleck has been very complimentary of Daniel Ship, which is great. But here's my worry: is that he's gonna have these growing pains that kind of hold back the rest of the old line, and then we're just gonna have to kind of wait for him to, for the game to slow down for him and get caught up when we got Mississippi State, the second game of the year. So I was just hoping that Warren would come in, solidify that spot right away, and then Daniel Ship is the future, obviously. So, um, we'll see. I mean, he got compared to a young Ariante Ursary by Fleck the other day. So, and I know Fleck talks a lot. You can't get much higher praise. I just don't want it to be where all of a sudden they're like going with the young guy because they think Warren might have been a miss out of the portal, and now all of a sudden we're sliding Greg Johnson back out to right tackle again and not just letting him play
Oof.
guard where he's getting all these high projections. So that is a little bit of a concern for me. Still got a couple weeks to figure it out, but and who knows? Maybe the young guy is all he's made out to be. But I was just hoping that Warren would kind of have that spot won out by now.
Have we? Sorry to jump in before you do, Max, but like, have we heard about? I know that there is a guy that they mentioned too that might be able to slide in there. I think it's Kavion Lee. Is he like a potential in the mix guy, or is he really not? This is just one from me looking at the while ago at
The
the
depth
potential
chart.
depth chart and just seeing if there is depth there, and if there is some
Is he
sort
the
of
big
talent.
guy
But
from UTEP?
No,
Who's that guy?
no,
I think he graduated.
Okay, I'm not even.
okay,
I'm sure we talked about the guy you mentioned, Shitty. It's not even ringing a
yeah,
bell. I feel like it's been down to these two guys, and then who's the younger Carroll? Or they're not related, but I thought they were.
Brett
Uh,
Carroll.
Brett Carroll, who's maybe competing for that right guard spot yet, but is more than likely the backup center this year.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so I don't know. That sounds like the battle, and then your left side is Roy Johnson,
yeah.
Ashton Beers in the middle. Um, I'll let Max jump in here too on the O line, but one positive thing about the O line is that they've spent a lot of time talking about how healthy Ashton Beers is. So I didn't realize, I guess, how dinged up he was last year, but to have your center getting the praise he's getting and just that they can tell he's looking healthy, um, that's been one of the positive things for that we've heard out of the O line.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've heard Ashton Beers already been mentioned as a potential, NFL level talent coming up with next year's draft. So that's good to hear as well. Especially with all the Greg Johnson praise. I feel like he's obviously the top dog coming in. Overall, pretty experienced offensive line, really. I mean, Nathan Roy, young kid, played all of last year. Johnson played 4 years. Beers, Richard Senior. Um, Tony Nelson, not a ton of experience, but Richard Senior. So it's like
Yeah.
we have all this solidified, and then the right tackle spot is like that was our biggest weakness last year, and now we're still kind of like, what do we do? Because we have a redshirt freshman. Hopefully, if Ship wins the job, I hope that just means he is that good, and Bennett Warren was less of a miss and more just Ship beat him out. It's disappointing if you pay a guy like Bennett Warren to come from Tennessee and he's not starting, but he also has eligibility left and could be another depth piece that maybe he slides inside. I don't know. I think overall it's initially disappointing in a way if Warren doesn't win the spot just because we paid him to come here. But if he's not the guy, he's not the guy. So
Yeah. I don't want to say, I don't want to say disappointed. For me, I just want to say worried. Like, it's got me a little bit worried here.
Yeah.
Because we all know how PJ likes to throw out. He's got young guys on the team. And I just know
Right.
that they'll turn to that if he's one of the starters, which he is a young kid. But sounds like they have a gem. Whether he's ready this year or not, they got a good one that not a lot of
Right.
people offered at all. So that's
Right.
encouraging. I was going to address this at the start of the show. I knew this was coming. I can't find them. I don't know where. I think the last time I had them was whatever show I wore them on last, and I don't know where they went. Maybe my wife got rid of them, even though she gifted them to me. Maybe she didn't like seeing me with them on the show. I'm not sure, but I'll change.
You get a
my
lot of
best to do-
praise.
I know. I'll have them for next time. It's funny. I went with them when we first did that show, and I had the draft show, and we wore our suit coats, and I wore the glasses to just kind of look like a GM type. And my grandma, basically, without straight up saying it, let me know she didn't like the look. And I think since that show, I haven't got her to tune back in, and that was the whole reason I went away from them, because I got the compliments on the shades. So we'll bring them back. But anyway,
Yeah.
back to fall camp news. O-line's got me worried. I don't know where you guys want to go next. Maybe we can talk about the receivers emerging, or take it wherever you want, Max.
Yeah, I guess my other concern, I think, just from seeing some clips from camp, and I know it's already been reported on, just that seeing John Nestor in the orange jersey and the big wrap around his hand, that it sounds like pretty early on in camp he had some sort of hand or finger injury. So not a concern that he's going to not be able to play the first game, but it just feels like every year, the first game of the season, we've got someone just seriously hurt from camp, and so I'm a little bit concerned that we've already got guys injured early on in camp. I hope
Right.
everyone else makes it out unscathed, but that's kind of my big worry is everyone going to be clean coming in? Because it feels like every year there's one guy where you're like, oh, and he's on crutches. What? We haven't
Yeah.
played a game
Right.
yet. Why?
I think the Nestor thing, he definitely hurt his hand, but I think Ryan Burns wrote that based when he was made available to the media, he had it off and it looked okay. So even
All
if
right.
he's played sparingly in the opener, which we can definitely afford to do in that opener, um, I think I think he should be ready to rock and roll. But yeah, no, I'm feeling better about the cornerback room based on the stuff we might be hearing or the stuff we are hearing about what might be happening. And but you definitely don't want to lose your top dog just because I don't know if we're particularly deep there with especially replacing the experience Nestor has. Um, just to go into the cornerback room, it's sounding like this is one of the biggest positives for me is that it sounds like Aiden West has pretty much locked up that cornerback 2 spot. So one of the bigger question marks coming into this season was who was going to fill that role, as we had a lot of guys rotating in and out of that spot last year between guys like Saquon Bryan that transferred out to UCF or USF, I believe. I think he went to South Florida. To playing Gooseby there at times last year. So we didn't know if he was going to get the first crack at it. But it sounds like really the CB2 and the whole secondary is kind of maybe coming together as far as who's going to be the starters out there with Aiden West taking over cornerback 2. Sounds like Aiden Gooseby might be sliding into the nickel spot as he's bulked up a little bit. And then you have Hardman, the freshman that they were, or now sophomore, that they were really high on last year. Got his feet wet a little bit, filling in Coy's spot, and then of course you got Kerry Brown, the leader back there. So whole secondary sounds like it's kind of at least got its starters out there, but then they have guys that they like. They brought in a lot of transfers, so I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about the secondary. It's just whether or not the scheme is there. I don't even blame the scheme. It's just a lot of coverage bust last year, So hopefully Danny Collins has it straightened out, but I think the corner back room and the safety sounds pretty encouraging from what we're hearing so far.
Yeah, I agree. I think that too. It's going to come down to secondary, like you said. You kind of touched on it, Kurt, about blown coverage schemes, etc. I do like the talent that's there. Just, I guess, putting it together and everything. I'm interested in the D tackles. I think that the ends are solid. We know what they can bring to the table, and that's going to be amazing. But I would like some solid D tackle play. Losing Devin Easter and Jalen Logan Redding, it's kind of a
Yeah.
deal. So hopefully that they can, you know, plug in those gaps and fill it. I guess Riley Sunrum and Naquan Crowder are the starters, right? Looking like the top guys, and they seem to be talented, but I just want to see like that sort of Devon Eastern kind of potential devastation and wreak havoc up in the middle that we kind of saw from those two guys last year.
Yeah, I think that competition's still definitely open, but what's encouraging, and I think it was Tony Liebert that wrote this is like the longest into fall camp that he's seen them play a bunch of bodies there in the ones, specifically about the defensive tackle room. So they got Crowder, and I think he's favored to be out there like 1st and 10. Like he's a run stuffer. He's just going to play the one. And then you got options there at the 3 next to him. Soon is it Sunrim? I don't know I can't remember how to pronounce Riley's name. I know he got some action. Okay, last year. He's definitely in the mix. But then they got Chapman from FIU, who's a little bit more of a smaller body, quick type. That might be more pass rushing situations, but not as small as I forget our guy last year. Who's our guy last year? That was Lawrence. Remember Lawrence from Stony Brook?
Rashawn Lawrence.
he's bigger than him, so a little bit more durable against the run, but kind of that body type. And then you got guys back like Jalen Hicks, and they've been talking up who's our true freshman that they've been talking up from Minnesota. I should really have the depth chart in front of me.
Howie Johnson.
Howie Johnson. So I don't know how much a true freshman's going to get out there in the middle of the trenches against the Big Ten. We'll see. The 5-for-5, 5 to play 5 might help these young guys get out there, especially early on. So Howie Johnson will probably play at some point in this opening game, just with how we're expecting it to go. But yeah, so I don't know if we have, to answer what you're throwing out there, it's definitely a concern. I don't know if we have anyone with like the ceiling that Devin Eastern had out there, but it sounds like we might have more depth. At least that's the hope that I'm putting into it, is that we have a true 4 to 5 guys that we're actually going to rotate in there. And then on top of that, if you are struggling to get some, real rush from the middle, you can always slide over Anthony Smith with the depth you have on the edges with Carter Mance, TJ Bush, and Jackson Howard. So I don't know. It might be me just drinking the Kool-Aid, but I don't want to say they're going to be the strength of the team or anything, but I think they'll be serviceable and maybe deeper. So
Yeah, definitely on paper, it's one of the deeper rooms we've had in a long time. I know PJ talked about early on that he phrased it as they definitely could have a rotation. I mean, obviously that's the goal, is everyone wants to have that strong D-line rotation where you're just keeping guys fresh all game long. And we saw what that, Devin Eastern, outstanding talent at the defensive tackle position, but come the fourth quarter, I mean, the dude is just getting beat up because he's playing every single snap, unless it was like a 3rd and long pass rush situation. So yeah, if we can have those guys, like you said, maybe don't have as high of a ceiling, but if we can have 4 bodies that can rotate in serviceably and Anthony Smith come in certain pass rushing packages, I mean, I think that's kind of what we've been asking for years now, is just to have that strong rotation.
Yep.
And especially if a guy goes down, then it's not as big of a deal. I mean, I don't know how Eastern didn't go down in the last couple of seasons. Like, if that happened, we would have been done for. Like, it seemed like we had no one behind him because no one else was playing. So yeah, all the guys you named, I think, yeah, Sid Kaba and Jalen Hicks as well. I think PJ's talked about both of them being in that rotation. And all guys too that still have eligibility after this season, which is another positive, that if they're not perfect yet, I mean, they still have a year if they want to stick around and continue growing, and there's young guys behind them. So yeah, on paper, it's a very positive looking room, but I mean, PJ did say too, like, they're just guys that just have to get better. So take that what you will. If that's just better to be in the rotation, better there's only a couple guys that are going to play, I don't know. Hoping it's for the rotation.
And we don't know for sure until we actually see it out there, but it's looking like, at the very least, they did a good job of getting depth in here through the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And they spent most of their money on the defensive side of the ball. And so it's looking pretty good. Like, it might be the best unit on the team. The defensive in a whole, not
right.
D-tackle, but
yeah, just getting a variety of talent too. It's not like we got 3 big run stuffers and hope one of them works out. Like, we got guys at all positions.
I'm still excited for the Division II guy, Knutson, that Iowa really wanted too. That had a couple picks in the spring game. I'm excited to see him. I think against pass heavy teams, you could see him playing more out there as that third safety spot. So, yeah, they got a lot of different bodies too, and they always like having that. It's all going to come down to Danny Collins for me, and if he can just, he talked about how much deeper we are, how much more depth and just different looks we can give. And that doesn't get me excited hearing it from him, just because it sounds nice, but I didn't really think that was too much of our issue last year. Like, we weren't super deep, I'll give him that, especially up front. But it was just a lot of blown coverages and guys not sticking to their guy. Like, it just looked like very poorly coached zone pass coverage where we covered an area, not a man, and so we'll see. It's going to be a big year for both coordinators as far as coaching for their future. But, yeah, I think it looks good on paper.
Yeah.
Great.
I guess We can touch on linebacker room really quick. One guy that got brought up that I wasn't really expecting to is sounds like Joey Gerlach is in the run to get mixed in there at linebacker. I think everyone expected Mav. Obviously, he's going to be the one with the green dot, as PJ's talked about. But then you got uh, Kingsbury and uh, Carmo rotating in, and so I don't want to say Gerlach standing out makes me disappointed, but I was hoping to hear more about Carmo and just Carmo taking over that second
Right.
spot just because he can do so much things that those other guys can't. He's just a different kind of athlete back there. Um, Another guy that looked good in the spring game. I know it's just a spring game, but Carmo really flashed. So, and I know he'll get rotated in. Um, and nothing against Gerlach. I just still have that penalty against Wisconsin a few years ago in my head where it almost let him right back in the game. But I'm sure it's great. It's great that they're at least mentioning four guys there, right? So we got some depth there. To if injuries happen, and they always do, so they got options.
Yeah. I was hoping to hear more from Mason Carrier too. I know that's a younger player that they were higher on. I think he was out of Detroit Lakes, so smaller school, local kid. I think he
Yeah.
was supposed to be get ready to start playing by now, but obviously guys ahead of him can't really do much about that. But maybe maybe all three of them, Carmo, Carrier, and Gerlach, are going to kind of rotate in. I don't know, depending on what spots they actually play as well.
Yeah, sounds like Carrier's outside of injuries probably another year out from getting significant time on the field at linebacker, but I think he's on like almost every special teams unit, it sounds like. So he's going to be like that Derek LeCaptain role probably this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't have much to add, I guess, to that. I thought that Karma was going to take that role. I was kind of hoping so, just because
He's only in his
I've
second
enjoyed
year,
him.
but I hear
Yeah,
you. Like,
right. But regardless, looking forward to seeing what's going to happen and everything. So,
right.
yeah.
I want to ask you guys this. Are you worried at all about the depth behind Darius Taylor?
I like, okay, AJ Turner, we know how athletic he was before his injury, and I was a little. It's a big injury, right? So I hope that he is somewhat back to what he was. He's not really like a bruiser back, if you will, which I would like to see if we had some like bruiser back that was kind of like a Mo that would just like put their head down and just guarantee you 3-4 yards. You know what I mean? Um, I think he's probably going to be the second back. I'm just hoping that Darius can stay healthy the whole season. That's kind of what I'm hanging my hat on, to be honest. And I know that's unrealistic, but that's just kind of where I'm at and hoping for at this point. But I think number two is probably AJ Turner.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think he'll get some. I think in certain situations, he can be an explosive pass catcher or someone that can play it on the edge. From what I understand, he might not even be ready for game one still, coming off his surgery and everything. So that's my big concern with him is when is he going to be back and healthy, 100%, ready to play? Not saying we need him for game one, but you'd like him to be
Right.
healthy and get some snaps under his belt. But I don't know. I mean, PJ's been pretty high on Estrada and the other freshman too, Bates. Bates is a pretty big kid too, actually looking at him. I think he's bigger than Estrada actually. So if you're looking for a bruiser, Spencer, it might be one of those two guys.
Right.
I think Bates has been a little bit nicked up in camp as well, but by all accounts, I mean, Estrada is supposed to be as advertised coming in. So I wouldn't be surprised if he takes over the second running back spot just for how much his name's come up as a true freshman.
I hope so. He's like Estrada is kind of like a Mo and Rodney Smith combined. I think he's a little bit faster
That's
than
awesome.
Mo, but not quite as bruising as Mo could be, But yeah, and to what you said, Max, Zeke Bates was here early, the freshman back out of Ohio, and they've been really talking him up. I think running back too, though, is gonna be the change of pace guy, T.J. Thomas from Elon. They've been really talking him up. Um, I just don't have faith that we'll use him properly because we kept running AJ Turner between the tackles too. So I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I get it's great to have a change of pace guy. I haven't seen Harbaugh use them correctly though. It's like okay, the second guy's in there. Let's run him up the gut like we did Darius, and it didn't work out. It didn't look good, and we'll see. I'm probably gonna get hate for finding something else to blame Harbaugh for, but I just it looked like we ran the exact same plays for Turner than we did Taylor, but yeah, definitely Taylor's gonna be the workhorse for sure. Hopefully his new dieting, his new style of play that he's kind of going in with mentally helps him out and keeps him healthy. But yeah, there's a mix there, and if one of those young guys catch on, that's great. It's just leaning on true freshmen can get a little scary. But thinking back on it, the Kai Thomas, Bucky Irving year, that worked out okay. And then Mo's first year, we had a ton of running back injuries, and we got to Mo and Bryce Williams, right? Yeah, those
Yeah.
two got a lot of playing time the year we finally beat Wisconsin for the first time under PJ. So it's worked in the past, but I think it is your biggest depth issue on the offense is at running back.
Yeah. If running back is a problem, I guess right now, considering that Taylor's there, I guess it's a
5 wide.
problem that's okay. I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they want to do. I mean, according to PJ, the wide receiver room is deeper than it's been in a long time.
It's a great transition. Everybody's talking about Noah Jennings, and I'm fully on board that he's going to be receiver one now. I don't even think it's
Really?
just he's the starting third receiver. Yeah,
Over
because all
Jalen.
off season, yeah, I think I'm not saying he's going to play receiver one spot. I'm saying he's going to
Sure.
end up with the most production. I think that's where
I hope
this
so.
is all going. I mean, PJ, he can't help himself, but he's comparing him to Rashad Bateman the other day to the Big Ten Network
Wow,
guys, and that's
okay.
just like, you don't just throw that out there. PJ might, but I don't hear him doing that with other guys. Maybe we should play the tape back. Maybe he said the same thing about Jalen Smith. I don't know. He might have, but he probably did to some extent. But what excites me about Noah is that they're talking about his down the field athleticism and body control, or I should say down the field speed and body control going up for the football. So I think he's going to be able to take the top off some defenses for us and be a game changer. So I think that's going to be the deep ball target a lot, along with Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith can move as well, and then you got Tracy there as your possession guy. So, and then the freshman that they like Hayden Moore a lot. The new guy that joined later, that wasn't here for the spring. What's his name? Quady. What's his last name? Anyone got the depth chart in front of them? Anyway, those two are true freshmen, and they're both getting reps. So I think that's your top 5. And then you got the step-toe guy from Tulsa as well, getting mixed in. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm just holding back because I've hyped up the receiver room in the past, and Michael Brown Stevens and company. I'm just gonna wait and see. Good. I don't think it should be any worse than last year. Like I know we lost Lemecki, but I think it's a faster room for sure with the guys they brought in. So
I always just feel like talent, the appearance of talent in the receiver room has never been like a question. It's
Yeah.
always like what ends up happening, and whether that's like, are these seemingly talented individuals like just not as talented as we thought, or is there like a
Yes.
coaching something dynamic to it?
probably both. Probably
Yeah,
both.
it's
But that's the other reason why I'm getting more excited this year is I really like Isaac Thrifty as a player.
right. Yeah,
I like his resume from what he did previous to being here. So I have no doubt that like him coming here to coach receivers is gonna be a good result. And so I don't know. I'm not gonna come in here and say this is 2019 or the closest to 2019. That's not gonna come out of my mouth until I actually see it on the field. But I think they're poised to have a very good year.
yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't touch on
Well,
quarterbacks. Drake's QB1. That's in the
yeah.
bag.
I was, yeah. I think I agree with that. I don't think he has any challengers upcoming. It'd be cool to see if there's one in the chamber, I guess, for the Gophers, but yeah.
Well, they do like the freshman that they got, but we don't
Right.
have to. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, one last note from
Yeah.
camp. It sounds like, I mean, they're already tampering expectations, but we're already hearing, Roman Voss taking snaps out of the backfield and at Wildcat. So
Yeah.
checked it off the bingo card.
I have been,
It
yeah.
feels gimmicky.
Yeah.
I'm just going to
does.
say it. Like,
It
this is the
does.
big in-state freshman. Hey.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it just
Like
feels
Coy
like we're
2.0.
trying to appease. Well, I don't want to put that on Voss because I think Voss is the. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But I think he
Yeah.
could be like. What they're doing with Voss is more natural than what they were trying to force Coy into, in my opinion.
Right.
It would appear to me because he
Yeah.
played everywhere in high school. I know Coy did too, but like Voss being a high school quarterback now playing tight end and having him do some Wildcat makes a lot more sense than Coy playing
Yeah.
Division I receiver when he's just not
Yeah.
that kind of athlete.
It's more like
So,
a Seth Green sort of situation that kind of made
Exactly.
sense, right?
Yeah.
exactly.
But you're right. To your point, Kurt, I've had a lot of classmates come up to me and say, because they know I do this podcast, and they're like, have you seen and heard about Roman Voss this? And I'm like, it's just everyone's drinking that Kool-Aid, the excitement, which part of me is like, I'm
Yeah.
glad that people are excited about something like this. But as Gopher football fans like us, it's like, oh, cool. We'll see what happens,
Right. I'm happy for him that the fans are excited about him. And we are excited about him. I'm
Yeah.
just guessing. I'm sure he'll play at some point in time with how much they're already talking him up. It just sounds like between Hayden Helms and Pierce Walsh, those are going to be the two main guys. So I don't know how many significant snaps he's going to see this year. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Throwing out the true freshman and Wildcat when you need to convert a 4th and goal, to upset Michigan or something,
Yeah.
just seems like a really big spot. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
Right.
I have a feeling when push comes to shove, you'll see Darius Taylor get that role again. But
Yes.
That's what they were already doing last year, right? Like, just snap it to Darius. And
Yeah.
I guess with Voss, you give the threat of a pass, but I
sure,
don't know really if that's
be
what you
ballsy to
want.
let him just drop
Yeah.
back and throw right away.
I don't know if that's a
I'd
good
be all
thing.
for it, given the right
If it works,
circumstances.
obviously it works, but yeah.
All
No,
right,
I
we
agree. I think
gotta-
that's like the ceiling for Voss is effective Wildcat short yardage guy this year.
Right. Yeah, I'd be surprised, to be honest, if we see a lot of the Wildcat this year from him.
Right.
But we'll see. Unless it's like a game or Darius is already banged up, then maybe that role expands for him. Let's address this before we transition to our next segment of predicting defensive and offense MVPs. We got this comment here. Nick writes, hot take, I'm more worried about Mississippi State at home than Michigan or Iowa. That QB is electric, and losing right at home would be so deflating. Am I crazy for that? Partially. I'd be surprised if Mississippi State is better than either of those teams, but their quarterback, to your point, Nick, might be the best of those three quarterbacks just with how quick he is and how good he looked at the end of last year. So I don't think you're crazy. I mean, I'm worried. Like, I think ESPN's got us as like a 48.5% chance at winning, which I think is low. And Mississippi State got two guys back, pending how this rule is playing out for the 5th year. They got a starting D end and safety off last year's team, and the safety was their leading tackler. So, yeah, Mississippi State, it's going to be a fourth quarter game. It's going to be down to the wire. I just like our defensive ends to contain. And maybe if they can't do that with the veterans that they have, that's a coaching malpractice, in my opinion, to not have them ready, given who your first game is. And I know that's easier said than done. Like, he is a tremendous athlete, and he's going to make plays. But he shouldn't kill us with the defensive ends you have as far as, running outside of the pocket. Now, maybe he can just keep buying time and scrambling back. And if that's the case, there's not always a whole lot you can do about that. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's taking Mississippi State lightly, and I just don't think they're a better team than Michigan or Iowa. I'd have to see that play out. But it is a hot take. He said it was a hot take.
Yeah, in terms of like that loss having a big impact, I guess I could see that in a way, just because that's, of those three, that's probably the most likely we are to win. So I could see that being the case where, well, if we lost that one at home, then what are we supposed to do against Michigan or Iowa? But I don't think the team's going to have that mentality. I don't think PJ's going to allow that. I feel like they're pretty week in and week out. It's a new week. He hammers on the 1-0 mantra. It's just a lot of coach speak, obviously, but I mean, you do see it. They'll play a game that looks absolutely horrendous one week, and the next week they do all right. So,
right.
I don't know. I'm not too worried about it derailing the season if it doesn't work out.
Sure.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right, fellas. Well, let's transition to our next segment, predicting MVPs. Why don't we start at the defensive side of the ball here? Get your thoughts, Max. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I mean, this seems like a layup, but I feel like Anthony Smith is probably going to be all right this year. It's really, I mean, that guy is a beast. Like, the fact that he came back is awesome. Everyone's talking him up as, he's getting named as like a potential, national award, potential first round draft pick, one of the top defensive ends to go in the draft, potentially, depending on how this year goes. Like, you're hearing all this hype. So, yeah, I mean, the kid's a freak. He can play anywhere. He can play inside. He can play outside. He can rush the passer. He can stop the run. You might get an interception this year. I don't know.
Yeah. If you are taking Anthony Smith or Drake Lindsay in this segment, you are responsible for providing one dark horse of who's not being talked about that's going to produce on that side of the ball. So who's your dark horse, Max? And I obviously can't fault you for picking Anthony Smith for defensive MVP.
My dark horse, I was between two. One of them we already mentioned, so I'll skip. I'll go with one we haven't talked about. I think it's a big surprise because the room is so deep, but Adam Kisai, apparently he's like huge now. He's like 6'8", 275. He's put on a lot of muscles. So PJ already mentioned him in some of his press conferences, which I feel like is, with how stacked that room is, for his name to come up tells me something. So if there's some spots where he can come in, maybe he beats someone out, that would be my dark horse to be a big contributor this year.
I like that. Yeah. I mean, that's the kid that Clemson came in after hard, was his dream school. Committed there for 2 seconds, spent spring there and wanted to come back, and we took him back. So got a lot of talent, a lot of upside. He was just a skinny kid coming out of high school. So that would be exciting. Go ahead, Shreddy. Who's your defensive MVP?
Yeah, I want this guy to keep it going from kind of a stellar performance at the end of last year. John Nestor. Sounds like he's banged up, but I kind of like to see how he came in last year. And cornerback was a question. If we remember last year, we're like, are these guys going to be able to perform? I think he slotted in great. And now I think with the end of the year, how he was playing, like MVP sort of like play, I guess, in terms of the games at the end. I just would like to see him keep that fire going, and for the sake of being different and not
Yeah,
talking about maybe some obvious ones,
I did the same thing.
I do think that he has the potential to be one of the top tier guys in the defense.
Here's where I went with this pick. Anthony Smith is a tremendous player, and he's going to go down as probably one of my all-time favorite Gophers, especially on the defensive side of the ball, if he has the year we're expecting him to. I went with Maverick Baranowski, and I did that because Mav, when he first came onto the scene, his neck was wider than his head. It still probably is. And he just got in there and was instantly physical. With the news of Joey Gerlach emerging and Kingsbury getting a lot of reps out there as well, I think Mav has shown. I'm not going to put him in the Cody Lindenberg tier of athleticism, but I think Mav is more than just a fill the A gap type of linebacker. Like, he can move a little bit. He's not slow out there. He doesn't look slow out there. He gets in on a lot of plays. And being with pairing with that more Mariani Sori Marin in his second year coaching the linebackers has talked about the importance of working on the drops again, and that's been a strong emphasis for Mav this year. So maybe we see him get a few more interceptions this year and get be a bigger impact in the pass defense. So I'm going with Mav. He's probably, if he stays healthy, your leading tackler. He's probably going to finish it with a few sacks, off the blitz, and then also hopefully a few picks in pass coverage. So I'm going to take Mav as the defensive MVP this year. And he's just a guy you probably can't afford to lose positionally just because you're not as deep at linebacker. Not that we want to lose Anthony Smith. It changes a lot if you lose Anthony Smith. But we do have a lot of ends that we like behind him. Mav, I don't think we're as deep there. So that's my pick.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like
He's
it.
definitely the anchor in a way of the defense.
It's nice to have that at linebacker that you can rely on, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
I
Cody
almost was gonna
Lindenberg
go,
at the end and like the Sori
Yeah.
Marin at the end, right? Like, yeah.
and I just want to shout out Kerry Brown because we haven't talked a lot about him, but he's he's already that safety
Yeah.
blanket back there. Like,
Yeah.
he's that stud on the back end you feel really good about. So I'm sure Kerry
Right.
Brown will be in the running as well.
For sure.
Just want to make sure we mention that.
He's on my sheet.
All right. Offensively, let's go ahead and talk about potential offenses or offensive players that could be MVP. I'm going to go first if that's okay, fellas. And I'm going to bring this guy up because not only is he a tremendous player, but he's a tremendous person from meeting him briefly. Javon Tracy. I just think that this guy, I hope that it sounds like the wide receiver room's deep, but he was probably number 2 last year, I guess. Like, he was up there. But I just hope that he has like another breakthrough season and just kind of is reliable, I guess. If the ball goes to him, he's going to catch the ball. He's going to make a play. I'm not saying he has to be this electrifying, deep ball threat or whatever, but the 3rds and 7s, or you need a play here. Just be that guy you can rely on. And I know this is MVP, but again, for the sake of being different, not taking the Drake Lindsays, the Darius Taylors, I think that he might be a solid guy that we could rely on. So give me Javon Tracy.
He could be a KJ May-esque in moving the chains, just consistently moving the chains on 3rd down. I like it. I went Darius Taylor. So
fair.
Here's why. I'm fully bought in just to the new. He's talking different this year. He's got the Mo as running backs coach. The O-line, hopefully, is just average to a slightly above average at times in the run blocking game, which I think they were average for the most part last year. I think they'll be better this year. We brought in Lime Grover to help with like the power run game and stuff like that. And just listening to Darius talk, he's got the chef. He keeps talking about how how he's got to do a better job at making sure it's a 4-yard gain. It's a 4-yard gain. If he runs more just downhill, and he's got some like shiftiness to him, I don't want to just get rid of that. But if he could just run a little bit more straightforward and just lower his shoulder a little bit more, because he is a strong back, like he's a big guy. I think he's gonna look more like David Cobb production wise, if that makes sense. I don't. He's not as big as Cobb. He's a different style. He's definitely a better pass catcher, but I just think he could have that level of production if we get the O line right, and if he just focuses a little bit more of a north-south run game. So I'm taking Darius Taylor. The run game's back. We're Minnesota. We run the ball. Darius Taylor, 1,500 yards, 15 touchdown season incoming.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, a healthy Darius is sky's the limit for that kid. I mean, he's that talented. So, hope that's the case. Well, I'll take Drake Lindsay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the dude, he's unlike any quarterback we've had here. Sounds like he's slimmed down a bit in the offseason. That was definitely the biggest knock, obviously, of all of his traits, was just his mobility within the pocket, especially. We know the offensive line had issues last year, but even when he had protection, he just couldn't really move that well. So slim down a little bit. Hopefully that helps out. He has a little bit of escapability, or just can buy himself a little bit of extra time to find someone open. So yeah, I mean, if he is what everyone says he's been doing, and obviously we saw what he did last year, there's really not a lot of, it's not a lot of question marks around it. It's just, can he do it? Can he stay healthy?
He's the most important. If we lose, Drake, we're done. So
right. Well, with how much they've been talking about, yeah. I mean, if we have a healthy Darius and we have a wide receiver room that's as deep and talented as PJ's talked about, then you're just giving Drake that many more weapons. So
yeah. Who's your dark horse, Max? You took the easy one.
Dark horse. Yeah, dark horse. I'll take Perry Thompson, the Auburn transfer. Maybe he can break the mold and be that big wide receiver that can be a mismatch finally. It feels like every year we've had the guy that is. He's
another one. I know he's young. So he's young, so he's got time. I hope he sticks it out. The guys we get in with this body type never want to stick it out. So he's got a ton of talent. They paid decent money from what I understand for him. So they liked what they saw. I just think the emergence of guys like Noah Jennings, Hayden Moore, and this other freshman that is escaping me. I think that's a crowded room, and I think it sounds like he's a step behind those guys and gotta marinate a little bit. But if I were to throw out another one, because Spencer mentioned Darius as a easier pick as well, which he definitely was. I think Helms, the tight end from Oklahoma, I was assuming when they brought him in that he was just going to be that heavier set, ready to run block type guy, because that's kind of been the tight ends that they've brought in for the most part out of the portal. Sounds like he's got a little bit more shiftiness, athleticism to him than I gave him credit for. It's just a matter of him keeping healthy. So I don't know if he'll be in the MVP conversation, but just as a guy that's a dark horse to produce, from the way they're talking, like he might be your leading receiver at the tight end position this season, just based on things go. And I think Pierce Walsh is definitely tight end one, but this guy might get a little bit more of the targets potentially.
Nice. Yeah. All right,
we're going 12-0 after that talk, so that makes things easy.
Well, speaking of 12-0, if we have no other thoughts there, let's talk about Big Ten rankings. Here's how we're going to do it. Something similar to last year, but maybe a little more efficient. We are going to do a draft of the Big Ten power rankings. Kurt, could you just break down the rules for everybody of this segment?
Sure. So last year we did this, and Max absolutely smothered us, and we didn't get a good wager ahead of time, so we never got around to it. So Max has won his choice of where he wants to draft this year. That's his reward for just smoking us last year. But here's how it's gonna go. Gonna be a snake order draft, right? 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Make it fair. If you pick the Big Ten champ winner, that's a 4-pointer. All right. If you pick the runner-up, that is a 2-pointer. And then every other team you pick that makes a bowl game is a point. So you might miss out on the Big Ten champ winner, but if you draft well and you get a lot of the bowl eligible teams, you're still in a shot. Got a shot to win this thing. If Max snags it first pick, then we're all still in it. If you pick the Big Ten champ and the runner-up, obviously they're still going to a bowl game, so that's another point for them as well. So basically a 5 points, assuming the Big Ten champ is going, obviously, to the playoff, and probably with the runner-up as well. So it's really like 5 and 3 for first and second place. I hope that I explained that well. Max, where would you... Oh, and this year's wager is... We'll keep it on the down low for tax purposes, but there is a money wager on the table this year. So real sweat in the game. Comment below who's your pick to win the Big Ten this year. Max, where are you selecting this year in the Big Ten draft?
I had my name slotted in one spot, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the first overall pick.
What?
I feel like I just want it.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Well, you know what I didn't think through, though, is how are me and Shitty deciding who's picking second and third?
I think we need a quick... Do you have a preference or rock, paper, scissors?
You know what we'll do, just to keep it consistent? I'm pretty sure I took last year. I think I finished last in the points because my first pick was Penn State.
Ooh,
and they were
yeah.
brutal. Oh. So, because I said I hated it at the time. Anyway, we'll give Shitty the second pick, and I'll take third. If you're good with that, Shitty.
I'm good with it.
All right.
All right. Let me get that all in there. And
Max has this fancy chart that will be easier to watch along. So if you are a listener and don't watch, we do have video on YouTube. So actually, I think we have video on Spotify now as well. Oh,
I love that.
Well, if I have the first pick, I'm going to run to the podium. I'm going to take the Oregon Ducks first. I think, honestly, I think they would be my pick to win it all this year, along with a lot of other people, but that's where we're going.
They don't have the best odds, which shocks me.
Yeah. I mean, everyone loves Texas. Ohio State's obviously going to be really good. Georgia's Georgia. Notre Dame.
I mean, even for the Big Ten, I think they're second behind Ohio State for the odds, but...
Are they really?
Oregon? I think so, unless Google lied to me.
No, you're probably right. That probably makes sense because I think Ohio State has better odds to win the national championship than Oregon, so that would make sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, with the second pick, I'm going to go with the Buckeyes. I think that, looking at their schedule and looking what they're bringing back, as always, I'm pretty confident that they can at least make the Big Ten championship, which will give me, just making it gives us points, right, Kurt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
It's a good pick. I'm not going to mess around with the third pick. I passed on them last year. I'll never forgive myself. Give me the Indiana Hoosiers. Kurt Signetti, man. I can't believe Indiana's the reigning national champ and already just like, yep, that's a powerhouse this year. So, yeah, they're going to be formidable once again if the receivers and quarterback can click. Yeah, I like them a lot again this year. They return a lot on the defense, I think, up front at least. So, I like Indiana. And this is where you get the step down.
Yeah.
I I'm gonna take, even though I don't love their quarterback situation, and they've had a lot going on, I'm just gonna take the Michigan Wolverines because they
Really?
got a lot of talent on that roster. I just, I don't know. I think the trenches should be strong for them again this year. Kyle Whittingham brought over some studs from Utah. I don't know. It could very well be a dud, but I just think after those top three, I think it's a pretty big gap from that next tier of teams, and Michigan should be in that mix, I think. So I'm gonna take Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't argue with that thought process, Kurt. And I kind of feel weird about this one too because they are very talented, it seems like, but they just can never put it together. And that's the USC Trojans. Um, they got Ohio State at home this year. I think that's a good test to see whether they can really hang with the big guns. But again, this team is electric offensively, but it seems defensively they can't put it together. But I got the Trojans.
Yeah, I do like USC. That I feel like USC is almost like a dark horse playoff team. They do have a kind of a tough schedule though. But
Right.
all right,
That's how you make it, I guess.
yeah. If I got two, I mean, I feel like at this point, just lock up a bowl game. Well, no, I don't want to take them second. I'll take Penn State and Iowa. Iowa just will make a bowl. Penn State, I don't know if I trust them with Matt Campbell, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust. Well, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Iowa went off the board faster than I thought they would, but I think Iowa's going to be good again, so. They always are, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the problem.
With that,
You're
this
up,
one's
Shooty.
tough. Gosh. Give me the Gophers.
Dang it!
I'm
I
going to
thought I
take
was
the
gonna get 'em.
Gophers. I was thinking about another team out west, but their schedule's kind of hard, and I think I'm going to take the greater of the two teams, in my opinion. Although,
I can't fault you
Alright.
there.
yeah.
Oh, man. Now I got decisions. So, their schedule is hard.
Yeah.
Oh, that schedule is tough for Washington,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's very
Boy,
hard.
oh boy. You know whose schedule isn't that hard? Oof. Okay, now I'm picking for bowl games. I'm going to take... Gosh, that's crazy, right? I'm going to take... Sorry. I'll take Illinois and Nebraska. Just to get me some bowl
Ooh.
points. Nebraska
Yeah.
does have a meaty middle. Well,
Ooh.
yeah, so I don't know. I might have panicked there. But,
Okay.
dude, Washington's schedule,
It is.
that
I-
is
Yeah.
tough.
I think that I'll go with Washington here in
Yeah.
hopes that they can. They should be able to get 6, but it's a formidable schedule, and man, traveling from out west to the Midwest, just
Yeah,
it's hard. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
and they had the weird quarterback situation already in the off
Yeah.
season. I think someone at some point a couple weeks ago said Washington was a lock for the under. Ooh. That's gonna bite me if that doesn't work. But all right, this is where we'll take. Northwestern's been improving. I think they can get to a bowl game. So I think I'll take Northwestern. Man.
I think Purdue's looking pretty solid.
I don't want both of these teams. One of these teams has like the easiest schedule ever. So maybe they'll just walk into a bowl game. No. We'll take UCLA. We'll
Dang
take
it.
the Fighting Bob Chesneys.
Yeah.
You took my sleeper team.
For what it is.
The rest of these teams are crap.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Turtle Heads.
Dang it.
I think I'm going to go with the Turtle Heads.
All right, so who's left for me there? Is that Sparty?
Yeah, you got Michigan State, Rutgers, Purdue, and Wisconsin.
I'll take Sparty, and I don't know if they'll do it, but give me the Badgers. I'll take Sparty in Wisconsin.
Kurt has the most Big Ten draft.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take Rutgers.
Boiler up.
And to round it out, Purdue.
So
Nice.
let us know who you guys think won that Big Ten draft. Hopefully it wasn't too painful to sit through. Yeah, I'm really hoping Indiana, I guess, can win it all. But Shitty, I hope you win it. Obviously, Gophers get in there and do some damage. But fun episode, guys.
Very fun episode, and it just kind of gets you excited for the season. Who is going to win these quarterback battles in the Big Ten across the country? Who's going to come out on top? How are the Gophers going to look coming out on their first game? It's to be seen, but we'll be with you the whole way through, everyone, and we'll see you in an episode pretty soon. But as always, thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Sky U Pod. Please go ahead and check out our partners' website, the college football pod, or collegehuddle.com, for more podcasts and articles about all things college football. Please be sure to like and subscribe our channel. It really helps us to keep promoting the great Golden Gophers to everyone out there across the state of Minnesota and beyond. You can find us on YouTube, X, Spotify, wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. But as always, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time, and go Gophers.